Hey, what's up? I'm Coach Ryan Family today here in the Viper Pit. Today I want to talk to you about hypertrophy cluster training. It's a method that you need to be incorporating into your training programs if you want to maximize your muscle building results. I first learned about cluster training about 15 years ago from Charles Poliquin, and his iteration of it at the time was a strength building method. Basically, you would do 5 sets of 1 repetition with about 10 to 15 seconds rest in between each repetition with super heavy weights, so 90% of max and above. And it allowed you to accumulate a bunch of work in a short period of time with a really heavy weight, okay? It manipulated the nervous system. And I got to think, and I said, you know what, if this is useful for strength, it's got to be useful for muscle building as well. We just have to adjust the parameters a little bit. And I started playing around with these cluster training. I called them hypertrophy clusters or growth clusters. And you know what? They worked really well for me. I've been cycling them in and out of the program, out of my training ever since. And then fast forward a couple years later, I read Dr. Scott Stevenson's book, Fortitude Training, which is an awesome read if you haven't picked it up. And he does the exact same thing. And he calls them muscle rounds. Turns out he was doing it long before I ever did it, okay? So it's really funny and fascinating to me. It's interesting how people from different parts of the world, without ever speaking to one another, sometimes arrive at the same conclusions through trial and error and experimentation. That's one of the best things you can do. If you take nothing else away from this video, learn to play around in your training, try new things, try to figure out what works. But anyway, hypertrophy clusters is an awesome method to boost muscle growth and basically condense a ton of work into a really short period of time. So how this works is you just do one big set of a mini series of several sets with short rest periods in between. So here's how a 4-week program could look like for hypertrophy clusters if you're looking to maximize muscle size. Week 1, you would take a weight that's probably about your 10 to 12 rep max, or a weight that you could lift no more than 12 times if you just did one set all out. And you just do one set of 6 reps, plus 6 reps, plus 6 reps, plus 6 reps. The plus means you take a 10 to 15 second break in between. So essentially you're doing 6 reps, 10 to 15 seconds rest. Another 6, 10 to 15 seconds rest. Another 6, 10 to 15 seconds rest. Now you notice at the very end here it says 6 plus. On your last mini set, you go as many reps as you can. So maybe you get 7, 8, 9 on that last one. You really want to burn out on that final mini set. What this allows you to do, it accumulates a lot of work with your 10 to 12 rep max weight into one hard, brutal, intense set, okay? So essentially you're getting a minimum of 24 reps with your 10 to 12 RM load in that single set. Those brief intra-set rest periods help replenish nutrients just enough to be able to fire off a few more reps, okay? So you do your week 1. It's awesome. Now we're gonna go week 2. Now you're gonna do, again, one set. Now you're doing sets of 4, but you're doing 5 little rounds. So up here you did 4 rounds of 6. Down here you do 5 rounds of 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And on the last 4, what do? You do as many as you can do. Now, this week 2 weight should be slightly heavier from your week 1 weight, okay? If you get 10 or more reps on that final set, you should go up probably 20 to 25% for this week. If you get between 6 and 10 reps, go up maybe 10 to 15% from week 1. And if you can't even get 6 reps, just go up maybe 5% for your second week, okay? In week 3, we're gonna bump the weight up again, and now you're doing 6 clusters of 3 repetitions. Again, on that final set of 3, that final cluster of 3, you're gonna go for as many reps as possible, trying to really crush it and really create a lot of fatigue in that final series. And again, we're taking 10 to 15 seconds rest between each little mini cluster, okay? And then finally in week 4 looks easy on paper, but it's brutal if you do it correctly. 8 sets of 2, 10 to 15 seconds rest between, and again, going to failure on that last set of 2. All right, getting as many reps as you can. So each week you're getting progressively heavier, so we're progressively overloading the tissue. You should be able to push for additional reps on your final sets. You're gonna become more fatigue resistant, and all this is gonna help signal muscle growth through cellular swelling, through satellite cell signaling, through muscle damage, through tension, all those goodies that really make the muscles grow and get you jacked, okay? Give this method a try. Again, it's a great thing to work in when you're kind of crunched for time. Because again, it's just one big set with little mini sets in between, all right? So you're not in the gym all day. I do one exercise per body part using this methodology. If you do it correctly, you are not gonna wanna do any more, all right? I promise you that. How do you work this into your regular program? I recommend typically when your goal is to gain muscle, to train a muscle group a minimum of 2 times per week. That's on average. Yes, there's some out one side of the bell curve that do it less than that, and others on the other side of the bell curve that are gonna do it more than that. But for probably 60 to 70% of your training year, twice per week is gonna be kind of the golden rule for that. So one day could be something like this, the hypertrophy clusters, and the other day could be more of a quote unquote normal program for that body part. Multiple sets, different loading schemes, definitely different loading schemes in here and different exercises than here, okay? I'm Coach Ryan Finley from the VIPAR Pit. Work these hypertrophy clusters into your program. Let me know how your results go. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below. I will catch you next time. Peace.